Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Corey Omenson on the line, and she's founder and CEO over at Rising Wines Collective. And this episode is part of our CPG Convergence Conference coverage series, where we bring you the best of those that are attending, participating, and sponsoring the CPG Convergence Conference that Mission Matters and our partners are hosting. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there will be a link in the show notes so that you can grab some tickets. It's going to be in Los Angeles, California. It's Thursday, June 25th. We have an amazing lineup of panels, of speakers, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, the CPG Convergence Conference, where growth, capital, and innovation come together. Corey, welcome to the show. I know it's a long intro, but we got to do it. We want people to come and meet us. I know you're going to be there, so welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to next week.
All right, and I understand you're going to have a booth there. You sponsored the reception, or we're going to have an opportunity to taste some wines. Like, talk to me. Like, what's the vision for this?
Well, I'm looking forward to I live in the Seattle area, and I'm looking forward to visit LA and expand our network and meet a lot of amazing people and share good wine.
Oh, love it. Sounds like a plan and an excuse for a little bit of a trip. So this sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's. I want to get a little bit into your background, of course. So we'll get into Rising Wines Collective, of course. But first, I see that the title here, founder and CEO. I mean, were you always an entrepreneur? Did you have that in your blood, or like where'd that part come from?
I was born and raised in a family of entrepreneurs, and I like to say that they had many chapters with many businesses throughout their life. So I came into this naturally.
Did you know? So did you know pretty early on? You're like, yeah, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Like, minus the word. Maybe you knew the word. I didn't know it. I didn't know I was going to be one. I just thought, oh, we just make money, right? We do things. But did you know you're going to be an
Yeah.
entrepreneur?
Well, at a young age, I would sit in my dad's office and practice his signature.
Oh,
And
wow.
I remember him telling me one day, the smartest person in business is one who brings together people who are smarter than you. And that just stuck with me.
Roughly, how old were you when you heard that? Like, just roughly.
Mm. Gosh, maybe 11 or
Wow, you're a
12. Yeah.
baby, young.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing
Yeah.
thing to pass down. What was it like around the holidays? Was there a lot of entrepreneur family business talk? I came from a small business family, so I know something was always going on. You're like, what? Like, what was that like for you?
Gosh. Well, my grandfather was a wheat farmer. My other
All right.
grandfather ran a TV and appliance store, and then my dad started his career in telecommunications. So, and lots of cousins and aunts and uncles. So it was chaos, but always fun.
Yeah, the entrepreneurial families, I love it. So then, obviously, like, so moving forward a little bit from the 11-year-old Corey, like, so how'd you start your career? Like, were you building brands and getting into that piece of things even before Rising Wines Collective? Like, how'd you start out?
Yeah, I actually started my career in brand strategy and creative and grew that into tech marketing with consumer peppered in there. And
Hmm.
for about 25 years, building growth strategies for different companies.
Wow. What did you like about doing that? Like, just that type of work in general?
It was always new. I loved working with different kinds of businesses and different people, and um, I like the strategy piece. I'm a problem solver.
Mm. Mm. Especially for like and so in this you're working with, just so I have a little bit of clarity, just a portfolio of different brands or large companies, or like give me just a little bit of idea of what kind of like
Oh,
that background entailed. Mm-hmm.
it ranges from working with companies, startups to launching brands or for products or services into extending into enterprise. I mean, I live in
Wow.
Seattle. I live in the
Okay.
Seattle area, so there's a lot of different opportunity in here.
So now you have, just to kind of take us down the story. So, entrepreneurial background. You knew you were going to do it. You're working with, you're getting all this experience. You're working with brands. Of course, I'm sure your wheels are turning during this entire experience of this. At some point, you
Um,
decide, I'm going out of my own. I got this idea. It's called Rising Wines Collective. How'd that come about?
so I had an amazing client towards the end of that career. And I was working with her to lead her e-commerce company into a successful exit. And she had a science background, and I just started sharing my passion for wine with her and talking about how I couldn't get enough of wanting to meet the winemakers and the science behind it. And that's when I decided to get a degree in winemaking and enology.
Mm,
And when I was working on a business plan to open a winery, COVID was hitting, and I was ready to buy barrels and grapes. And I found an interesting statistic when I was looking at the opportunity of launching a digital winery versus a winery within the tasting regions or wine country.
mm,
And I discovered a statistic that small producers only reach 1% of their audience from the tasting room. They
mm,
rely mostly on the travel industry, and they can't compete in mass retail markets. And, they also lack resources and budgets to build an online presence. And it made me realize how hard it is for these small producers to scale or, to sell their wines. And after digging into even more research, I found that enthusiasts are willing to spend money in wine that meets their values and quality standards and are asking for easier access from home.
mm.
And I discovered through lots of research and looking at data, I discovered a massive gap, or discovery to purchase gap, that potentially reached $7 billion and growing today.
Wow.
And between these small producers and consumers who want easier access to these wines. And that's why Rising Wines Collective today exists, is to unlock or bridge that gap as an e-commerce destination to scale small production wine sales through personalized discovery. And I like to say we are delivering wine country to your door.
So tell me, Corey, I'm curious, how does, things are moving fast, how does technology play a role in this whole ecosystem of what your mission is, which is to bring these wines to the consumer for these producers?
Wine consumers have already changed how they want to buy wine online. And it is anticipated that 59 million consumers will purchase wine online by 2030, which is a 49% increase from today. They are asking for authenticity, premium experiences, and personalized discovery. And when we first launched risingwinescollective.com, we were really focused on onboarding these producers and building an expanding network and rotating brands to elevate that element of discovery with our customers.
Mm,
And then fast forward today with how fast things are happening with AI and our ability to develop contextual conversations and hyper personalize the experience online.
mhm,
It's only advancing those opportunities to become greater. And Drinks Business just recently reported a statistic from a survey saying that 56% of millennials and Gen Z have expressed interest in AI-led discovery if if it was available to them. And
mm,
right now, enthusiasts shopping online or in social, 7 out of 10 of them will find brands online that they want to purchase, and they don't have easy access to them. There are many times they're not able to purchase it due to compliance, like maybe the wines are in Italy or that winery doesn't ship to a particular state. So
wow.
we are positioned right now to be able to expand and grow nationally, where we can also hyper personalize the shopping experience for enthusiasts.
Well, okay, what is it like working with these growers and with these wine producers? Because it sounds interesting in the market. Because it sounds like it's pretty fragmented at the moment, and everybody's trying to figure out some. I'm picturing
Mhm.
these small businesses, right, of varying sizes, of course, and they're trying to what's it like working with this segment?
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah.
We work directly with them. My co-founder Sandra Everingham, prior to launching Rising Wines Collective, her and her husband traveled around the country interviewing small producers
Oh
for a
wow.
podcast for a little over 5 years. And
Mm.
so we had a really solid baseline of winemakers that we had built in relationships with. And they are really in need in help of expanding beyond the tasting room. And we're just really excited to be a part of that. And, she leads the effort of sourcing and curating the wines, and it's a lot of fun. She travels around, different areas. We now represent wines between Washington, Oregon, and California.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm picturing. I bet you that. I bet you, by the way, that made for. And is the podcast still going on? I'd absolutely love to plug it. I'm just saying. I bet that makes for some really good stories, like behind these businesses and the founders and all this other good stuff. Like, is it still going on? Because I'd love to plug it. Of course, I want my listeners to
Uh,
check it out.
the podcast is called The Canted, The Wannabe Wine Snobs. Since Sandra is so busy right now with Rising Wines Collective, her
Yeah.
husband has expanded into doing more video work with the different wineries.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I love to hear these stories because I'm sure the people that own those wine and those vineyards, they're very appreciative, and there's to me it's like creating content. There's such a shortage of content creators out there. So many stories that need to be told. So when people are out there
Yeah.
doing things like that, I love it. It's just such a good story.
And I came into being passionate about these small producers and wanting to support these small businesses naturally.
Mm.
I think from the influence of my grandfather and my father being entrepreneurs, and it's kind of an interesting story. I didn't connect the dots at first, but one thing that I think is really special is that they taught me early that you could drive positive impact as an entrepreneur.
Wow.
My grandfather was the first to sell TVs in the state of Montana. And when my dad inherited his store, he turned it into a chain of rent-to-own furniture and appliances to support the Air Force community where we lived in Great Falls, and then also help with rural communities that maybe didn't have access to furniture and things like that or appliances. And then one thing that I love about this, when I talked about the different chapters or state
Mhm.
careers, he expanded that into renting to own cattle to help small farmers or ranchers grow their herds because you can imagine it's capital intensive. And I'll even take it a step further where I got my discerning palate for
Yeah.
wine was living in Seattle at the time. My dad was opening up a bookstore and music venue, and he didn't like the coffees through mainstream distribution. So he would
Mm.
come spend weeks with me in Seattle, and we would go visit the different coffee roasters and taste all these different coffees for him to decide on which coffees he wanted to represent at his store. So
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. And then, connecting the dots, it just makes sense that that it was obvious to me how fractured the wine industry is. And I couldn't get out of my head how badly I wanted to support these small producers. And, there was no option but to launch Rising Wines Collective, in my opinion.
Oh, I love this. What a cool family too. I'll throw that out there. Like you and Dad are out there tasting. I don't like the coffees that they got over here. I'm coming out. I want to taste some coffees with you. And you're like, sure, Dad, I'm in. Let's go take
Yeah,
some coffees.
I'm
I can
telling you
imagine
though,
the conversation, right?
you can't. It's a lot harder to drink coffee with all the caffeine than it is to go wine tasting.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Walking around with the jitters, like no, no more, Dad. Last one for today, right? That's
I mean,
funny.
professionally in the wine industry, you'll taste and spit, but
For
literally
sure.
we would get our coffees, have a couple sips, and then throw it out because it's too much caffeine.
Absolutely. That's amazing. So, Corey, we're a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to this show, executives, people, visionaries, people that want to do big things in this world. What's let's dream for a moment, please. Rising Wines Collective. We're recording this June 18th, 2026. What's your vision for the future?
Oh, I'm really excited. Right now, we're permitted and licensed to ship to 19 states, and
Mm,
I'm so looking forward to expanding nationally and just creating amazing experiences for people, whether it's like virtual wine tastings or, you know, I believe good conversation happens and memories happen over a good glass of wine, and let's have fun.
I love it. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person and having you out at the conference and sipping some wines as well, tasting some wines. And for everybody that's listening, if you're just tuning in, what we're talking about is the CPG Convergence Conference, where growth, capital, and innovation come together. It's going to be taking place Thursday, June 25th. This is going to be in Los Angeles, California. There should be a link in the show notes to wherever or whatever platform you're listening to this episode on. We want you to grab a ticket. Come out, meet me. I'll be there. I'm going to be doing some live interviews and a whole lot of other things. We're going to have some fun. Corey will be there, of course, and as mentioned at the top of this episode, they sponsored the reception that we're having as well. So come taste some wines. And Corey, if somebody's listening or watching this and they want to learn more about Rising Wines Collective specifically, how do they connect? How do they follow up?
Yeah, well, people can find us at risingwinescollective.com. Today, you can shop our wines or join our wine clubs that feature different winemakers in every shipment. Our social handles are at Rising Wines Collective, and I can personally be reached at Corey, Cori, at risingwinescollective.com. And I look forward to meeting people.
Fantastic. If everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. Check out Rising Wines Collective, and don't forget to buy that ticket so you can come out to our conference. And speaking of the audience, if this is the first time listening to Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me correct. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Corey, thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you.